Yesterday, I heard you talking to Ronald Walker about the majority leader always picking up words with the Speaker of Parliament.
Yeah.
What actually happened?
But let me state that statement has been deliberately wanting to be untrue. I had a colleague who said, "Oh, I was talking about spare parts dealer," and I said that is the most amateurish. My father was a spare parts dealer in Tamale. My father was dealing in bicycle sewing machines and the spare parts of sale. I was in that business, managing two of my father's stores. So my school fees was paid from spare parts and others. So it has got nothing to do with spare parts dealing. It has everything to do with Honorable Chairman Sabonsu. And let me say, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, before he came to Parliament, Captain Smart, was he not dealing in spare parts at magazine? Was he not?
Still operates that shop.
No, I'm saying that was he not?
I'm saying that he still operates that shop. It still belongs to him.
So if he was dealing in that, and at that time, the time he was dealing in the spare parts and wasn't in Parliament, Honorable Bagman was already a lawyer practicing. Is that not the case? So if we say that the man doesn't understand the law, so I was just reminding him that if it has to do with experience in Parliament, Bagman is way ahead of you. If it has to do with the understanding of the law, Bagman is ahead of you because he's a lawyer. But you and myself, and we are all development planners. We all did our planning at Tech. He did degree in planning. I did masters in planning. So I was just reminding him that he doesn't have the capacity to question Honorable Bagman's understanding of the law. When it has to do with being a member of Parliament, whether you are a lawyer or not, and you must have understanding of laws because that is what we do in Parliament. Bagman should be ahead of you because he has been in Parliament longer than you. 2, he has also been a lawyer. So I was just telling him that at the time when you were selling spare parts at magazine, Bagman was already a lawyer. It has got nothing to do with spare parts dealers. Are you getting the point I'm making?
Yes, sir.
So is that like if I say, someone tells me, Murtala, at the time when you were selling spare parts in the market in Tamale, I was already a lawyer. Why would I say that that person is referring to all spare parts dealers? I have been, and I've never hidden it. When I was the Deputy Minister for Trade, you can ask Dr. Obin, then he was the Secretary of GUTA. I told them I was a member of GUTA. I was dealing in spare parts. My parents are still dealing in spare parts. My parents, I know, but my brothers and sisters are still dealing in spare parts. So if someone says that what I said, I'm referring to spare parts dealers, that is so ignorant. I'm talking about that person. Assuming Chairman Sabonsu was a teacher at the time when Bagman was a lawyer, and Chairman Sabonsu says, Bagman, you don't understand the law. I can say that at the time when you were teaching, Bagman was already a lawyer. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that teaching, the statement is referring to teachers. Are you getting the point I'm making, Captain Smart? So that's the point.
All right, and thank you so much.
He said that Bagman doesn't understand the law. And the reason why he says that, he refers to Article 79 and 97 1C of the 1992 Constitution. Is that not the case? Go and read Article 97 1C. The article says, the provision says that a member of Parliament will forfeit his seat, and the forfeit will forfeit his seat if that member absent himself from Parliament without permission in writing for 15 days. And if that, and goes that, it didn't stop there, it says, and if that member is not able to explain or give convincing reasons to the Privileges Committee. So the law doesn't say that once you absent yourself, automatically you lose your seat. The law understands that it needs to be looked at by a committee, in this case, the Privileges Committee. So if the Privileges Committee gives you the opportunity to explain, and you're able to explain to them, you won't forfeit your seat. I'll give an example. And Chair's understanding is that once the committee takes the decision, it should be final. A committee of Parliament is not an authority to itself. A committee of Parliament works for plenary, works for Parliament. So why is it that the other 2 members of Parliament who were exonerated by the Privileges Committee, Chairman Sabonsu didn't say that once the committee exonerated them is enough. They brought their report to plenary. and all of us adopted the report. So why is it that Che didn't say that we didn't need to bring it to the entire House? One of the committee, he said he understood it. Now, in this case, Honorable Bagbin says that the committee cannot decide the fate of a member of parliament. It should be subjected to the entire House. So between Bagbin and Che, who understands the law?
All right, and thanks so much, Honorable Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, for your time this morning. Really appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Right. My main claim be from the office of the president, which was signed by the chief of staff, Honorable Akusua Frima Osei Opare. It says, I'm reading that, guidelines on government's response system to address issues